It's the end of October, and you and your friend decide to break into a churchyard for a little ritual. He has the candles, you have the Book of the Damned. As you creep silently into the churchyard, walking past multiple graves, you feel the presence of something behind you. As you turn around, nothing. The closer you get towards the grave of your evening ritual, a bell tolls off in the distance. As the bell resonates through the churchyard, the shadowy creature encloses on you and your friend. The long, jet-black body of a dog with glowing red eyes scares you and your friend as you scramble back towards your car. The churchyard grim scares another away. But where did the church grim myth come from? Why is the myth of the black dog, the Grim, so prominent in modern mythology? Hi, I'm Jax, and this is Morbidly Macabre, the show where I talk about morbid history, the origin of horror tropes, and other spooky topics that might catch my interest. I also stream over on Twitch 5 to 6 days a week, and I also do occasionally research streams over on Jax Marie Gaming VODs here on YouTube. If you enjoy what you see here today, please consider hitting the like button and the subscribe button, as this is a relatively new channel, and I do look forward to seeing it grow. We're almost at 20 subscribers, so hopefully we get there soon. Let's get back into the topic of the Church Grim. The Church Grim is a spirit common in English and Nordic folklore. The Grim is often shown in the form of a large black dog, but can take the form of other animals as well. For today's video, we'll be focusing primarily on the dog in the folklore in the first half, and the other animals towards the end. The Grim guards the churchyards of Christian churches and protects the land from people who might commit profane acts or sacrilege on the church grounds. In English folklore, the Church Grim is a large black dog with red eyes that guards the church. The dog itself was believed to have come from the custom of burying a dog alive under the cornerstone of the church. Its ghost would serve as a guardian. However, in my research, I haven't found anything verifying that the dog was in fact alive when it was buried. A lot of times you do see that it was a dead dog mentioned. However, it was mentioned several times that there was a belief that the dogs were buried alive. So I don't know. History is a little bit fuzzy on the subject. I'm really hoping the dogs weren't alive when they were buried, because I have 2 dogs myself, and the thought of that is just horrifying to me, but history is often horrifying. It is also believed that the first creature buried would be the guardian of the churchyard, so they would bury a deceased dog to protect the grounds instead of a person. In Yorkshire tradition, seeing the Grim, also known as the Padfoot, is a precursor of death. Another name for the Grim is the Barghest, or town ghost. The Barghest can take on many forms and is ever shape-shifting. It could be a headless man, a rabbit, a black dog, a cat, basically anything. It was said to have appeared after the passing of a notable figure, howling and heralding the death with barks and cries. Like the Padfoot, it could be invisible and walk about with rattling chains, almost like the ghost of Marley in A Christmas Carol. In Scandinavian folklore, the Grim is known by many names, and I'm going to attempt to pronounce them and probably fail even though I looked it up. The Swedish name for it is Kyrkogrim. The Finnish is Kirkonvaki, and the Danish is Kyrkogrim. I probably mispronounced all of those. I'm sorry, there is not that much translation really available. I tried to use how to pronounce, and how to pronounce had no idea. It is also the protective spirit of the churchyards, but it is connected with the night raven, another creature who dwells in the churchyard and protects the grounds. In Scandinavian folklore, like in English folklore, they would also bury an animal under the church altar. However, it would be a lamb, representative of the Lamb of God, Jesus Christ. People who would enter the church when there was no service would sometimes see a lamb in the church. However, if you saw this lamb in the yard itself, it would mean that the death of a child would be near. The main thing that all of these animals have in common is that they were buried to protect the church and predict deaths. Now in common media today, the Grim, the Padfoot, the Barghest is very prevalent in the media. I actually am reminded of several video games. The Barghest alone has an impressive resume in the video game world, featuring in games like The Witcher, Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning, which I love, Shin Megami Tensei. It's also in Dungeons & Dragons, Magic the Gathering, and Padfoot has appeared in Harry Potter. It is safe to say that society has not forgotten about this creature of folklore. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed today's topics and have any other topic suggestions, please leave them in the comments down below. I upload every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and I also stream over on Twitch, once again, at Jax Marie Gaming 5 to 6 days a week, and every other Saturday is a Mortician stream, and you should definitely check that out. Please consider hitting the subscribe button as I'm on my way to 20 subscribers and I would love to hit that goal. Thanks once again, and remember to stay curious. Goodbye.